Eisendrache.
Alright guys, so Eisendrache came out today on the PlayStation 3 as part of the Awakening DLC. Yes, it does not look very good, but I'm going to be highlighting some of the moments that happened when I was playing with my friend Codename Pizza. What is up with the loading screen? The text looks completely weird and different. This is the starting room. It's pretty simple. Normally, what you would expect from a PS3. What are those circular things, man? They look like the big room thing that's on Dome in Modern Warfare 3. They're kind of just chilling there, down there. I don't know what the deal is with that. This door underneath the dragon, there's a window, and there's also this huge like mechanical box next to it that does absolutely nothing. I don't really know what it was going on there with that. Honestly, it is a lot harder on PlayStation 3 to play zombies. I'm going to be straight up and honest with you guys. The zombies literally stick to you, and it just makes it really difficult. The dragon actually looks surprisingly good, which I was very surprised about, so I'm happy that that looked okay and it didn't really look too bad. The gumball machine on PlayStation 3 or any last gen console, I would say, is not the best. It's really dark, hard to see. The gameplay you guys are watching is on the highest brightness settings that were possible on the PS3 as well. I ended up getting pop shocks there. For some reason, inside the gobblegum machine, the different gobblegums are actually like squares, so that's kind of weird. Now we opened up this room, which is where you can see Samantha's room and Eddie's room. There's the teddy bear. It looks all bloodied. It's not like that on PS4. Also in Samantha's toy box, it had the skull for the void bow, which was normally never there, so I guess it just shows up beforehand. I couldn't interact with it, and this was from a different game where I actually interacted with it. So now we're gonna go turn on the power here, and honestly it's just normal, nothing really too crazy about it. It's really dark though. That was something that I noticed that really did suck about it. I wish it was a lot brighter and more energetic, and it would just add a little bit more to the map. Another thing is there's barely any snow falling, and also on the ground it's like an ice rink. It's literally almost pretty much white with a little bit of like texture added. Nothing crazy at all. It feels like you're just running on like ice or a white floor. That's it. So now we are down here in the pyramid room, and this was during a dog round, and a dog literally got stuck on the crafting table where the shield was. This was by far the funniest thing that happened when me and Codename Pizza were playing, because as you can see, the dog is going to move side to side, and it's just stuck there, dude. And then I ended up shooting him before Codename Pizza could take a screenshot, because honestly this was the most hilarious thing that we had seen all day, and it was pretty funny. So we ended up getting the max ammo, obviously, for ending the dog round. So this is the pyramid room. This is anti-gravity mode. There's little blue specks that float around, and surprisingly, wall running was actually very good on PS3. It was a lot better than I expected, and it's just as good as it would be on PS4 as well. So that was something that I was actually happy about. I think that was honestly the most surprising thing that had to do about being actually good. And like I mentioned before, the dragons actually do look pretty good. The only difference is when they actually blow fire, it doesn't look as cool, and there's like a foot gap between the fire and the mouth, so that's kind of weird. I don't really know why it did that specifically, but other than that, like, the dragons actually looked a lot better than I expected they were going to be. I thought they were going to look completely terrible and horrible, like pretty much the rest of the map. I mean, the map is really bland. Basically every texture that you would see is just replaced by something else. So now we're upstairs in the control room, and the control room's pretty much the same as well. Like I said, it's really dark, and this is the highest brightness settings. So now I'm going to go down and get the Wrath of the Ancients, or the bow. The bow is a lot darker as well. Like, literally everything is just dark about it. There's nothing bright, and that's really what I feel old and last gen is lacking. It just doesn't have any vibrance. There's no colors. Everything is just like a really dark color palette, and that really does suck about it. This actually worked, the 115 launcher, which wasn't too bad. Now I was actually getting the storm bow, so it's just a normal standard thing that you would expect on any other console, getting the storm bow that we have seen for the past 2 months on this map. Now another thing that's really interesting is actually shooting these signal fires is a lot harder, I would say. The farthest one is actually really hard to hit. This one's easy. The fire looks kind of weird. It doesn't look like huge and, you know, really robust like it does on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So now we're going to be teleporting. This looks really old. old. It reminds me a lot of just like the normal Darius teleporter. Nothing different there. It just looked really bland and boring. Now, as far as down here, the same thing with the floor. It's white, nothing special. This launch was actually pretty hard to do. The game before this, it took me like 10 shots to hit it perfectly. There's a lot of glitches with some of the bows. The fire bow and the wolf bow are actually really hard to do on last gen. Here is the teddy bear. It's actually underneath the car instead of in the truck like it is on PS4 and Xbox One. So that was something else. Here's the Panzer. I just ended up knifing him with pop shocks. For some reason, these shock charges that the Panzer threw did not affect me at all, for no reason at all whatsoever. So that was actually a good thing, and I was actually kind of surprised about that. I don't know why it didn't do much, but here, guys, is pretty much the end of the game. This is where everything fell apart and me and Codename Pinto went down. Now, this was kind of dumb because I didn't expect to go down, and this is what I was talking about earlier. The zombies literally stick to you for the dumbest reasons, and then you just end up going down, which really does suck. So Codename Pizza goes down from the zombies. I kind of dodge out of the way of those zombies, and they're like, literally 2 zombies just appeared out of nowhere and knocked me down. So I don't know what happened there. The zombies are teleporting like a few feet away, and then I just randomly got hit. So that was kind of dumb and really frustrating. But basically, guys, it's not the best, but it's not bad if you've never been able to play Eisendrache on last gen. I'll have another video out later on today, and peace.
Eisendrache.